Welcome to my Dopamine Detox Diaries, week 1. We cannot just sit and exist. Because this week was so unexpected. This is going to be a full month challenge, I guess, that I'm doing, and I'm going to take you along with me week by week. We're obviously going to talk about what is a dopamine detox, why I'm doing it, and what this week looks like in more detail, but I'm still going to give you a glimpse into what the rest of the month and the rest of the vlogs are going to look like as well. What is a dopamine detox? It's essentially a break from overstimulating activities to reset your brain's reward system. So I'm doing this because I want it to help reduce my cravings, improve my focus, increase my mood, and mental clarity overall. I feel like we've all heard of people taking a social media break, where they're like, my screen time is just way too high. It is way more than just a social media issue. It is the sense that we cannot sit in silence. We cannot be with our own thoughts. We are craving other people's instant gratification of comments on our videos. What are other people doing? Constant comparison. We cannot just sit and exist. So that is a huge reason why I want to do this for a full month. We cannot just sit and exist. My overall goal with this detox is simply to figure out a healthier boundary when it comes to good and bad dopamine, because I'm not going to eliminate junk food completely from my life, nor binge watching anything that's considered more unhealthy dopamine, quick fixes if you will, but I want to figure out a healthier balance to my day-to-day life. So I structure this in such a way that week 1 is essentially 0% of anything that's considered bad for you, but weeks 2, 3, and 4, we are gradually reintroducing these things. So by the end of week 4, I have a healthier system and habits in place that I can use moving forward. So I'm going to walk you through more in depth week 1, what you can expect in this vlog, and kind of a glimpse into the following weeks. Can I just say, I loved busting out a notebook, having my pens and my markers, and making this a colorful guide for the week. I'm obsessed. When I was writing this down, I specifically used the words intentions for the week because I do not want this to be a pass-fail situation. I am only trying to help myself. So if I get in my head that I didn't accomplish one of these things and that I failed for the week, I'm not going to want to continue this. I'm just going to feel bad for myself. So I set intentions for each week of this month. So for this week, my intentions are to eliminate, 100%, eliminate, gone, social media, binge watching, daytime noise, junk food, and shopping. Social media is an obvious one. That's an easy one. I don't think a week is really going to be that hard to have 0 social media, but I am looking at ways to slowly introduce it because I do love content creation. I do love engagement. I do love getting inspiration. So I got to find a healthy way to have that a part of my day-to-day. Binge watching and daytime noise are definitely two that go kind of hand in hand and are going to be quite challenging for me throughout this entire month. I constantly need noise on in the background. I work from home a majority of the time. I'm always having an ambiance on, vlogs on, or podcast-y things. God forbid a girl just sits at her laptop and does work. I can't do it. I have such a hard time sitting in silence, and it's more than just my own thoughts. It's also this, I'm working, but God forbid I didn't just fill my brain up to 100% capacity with all it can take. So I need to figure out how I can just better focus on the task at hand and not rely on other outside forces to focus. I think if I was working in an office with a bunch of other coworkers, chatting, walking, distracting, it'd be kind of different, where maybe you could use some of that ambiance noise to have your headphones in, focus on your work to block out the outside noise. But I work from home. I don't have loud neighbors. I don't have a lot of outside noise that's bothering me. So I am really scared but really excited to see how this one transforms my month. Junk food and shopping also sort of hand in hand, both very toxic for the budget because junk food can be cheaper, but not always. Why is a bag of Doritos $7? But this is one that I'm really excited to do because I am definitely not going to be cutting out junk food from my life completely moving forward. But this week, I really want to focus on how if I just fuel my body with things that are considered healthy for me or healthier for me, how does that impact my mental clarity and just overall energy level and focus? For the shopping side, it is a level of instant gratification, absolutely. I don't necessarily shop to shop anymore. I've gotten a lot better about it. However, it is so easy for me to just go on Amazon or Target or just generally on my phone looking for things and then feeling the need to buy them. Maybe it is something I'm looking for, but instead of budgeting for it, planning for it, and like taking my time with it, I'm just like, oh, I want this new picture frame for my wall. I'm just gonna go get it. And there's like no sense of rewarding anything. It's just like, I want it, so I'm gonna get it. That's not healthy. So for this week, we're not buying anything I do not absolutely need. So then what this week looks like is filling my time with real things. We all know I need a junk journal. I'm desperately behind on that. I want to get more crafty. I want to spend time physically reading. I have word searches. I have a dog that loves to play. I can play with him a lot more than normal maybe. As if I don't literally hang out with him all day. This sense of embracing boredom. I just watched this video. It was more like a time lapse, but they were sitting 1 hour, silence, nothing, and they're just sitting there to hopefully kind of, I think, regain some sense of something. But I just thought that was so interesting. Like, we're gonna sit in silence and do nothing for 1 hour, like every day. I don't remember like what their challenge or point of it was, but I thought that was so interesting. But that is this level of like, embrace boredom. You don't have to fill up every second of your time doing something important or some sense of like productivity of value, something like that. So I'm curious to see if I find lull moments, which I'm sure I'm gonna have, like how that seems to affect me when I'm not gonna intentionally then try to fill it with something. I wrote this one down, but I don't think it's really this intentional way of changing what I'm doing. It is move my body. I think because I have my dog Milo, like we're always outside, we're going on walks several times a day. Like I just want to be more intentional and mindful of the fact like when I'm outside, I'm not listening to something else. I'm just embracing the fact that I'm outside with my dog, walking in nature. Like let me just pay attention to my surroundings, breathe the fresh air, see what he's sniffing or trying to eat in the bush. Like I'm excited to see how I think about our walks now because I'm always having at least one AirPod in, listening to something. And then lastly, I put vinyls when cooking. I've had this record player for so long, and because I don't have a designated space for it, which I don't really now either, but I want to make a space for it, put it out. I have plenty of vinyls to listen to, and I'm so excited to have music playing, specifically when I'm cooking. And this is me kind of limiting, again, that extra noise, that sense of filling a space. Music is good for you. It is a healthy form of dopamine, but I still want to not just like use that as an excuse to be like, oh, well, in my day-to-day, like I'm just like listening to ambiance, which is like music, so it's like healthy for, no. So for this week, I want to kind of limit it to that evening time, and it's something I can look forward to because cooking is definitely a big one. Let's get into that a bit more because I'm filming this after I went grocery shopping this morning, so let me take you grocery shopping. We just got back from the grocery store, so I want to give you a haul of everything that I got. I first went to Sprouts, which I love Sprouts. I forget how much I love Sprouts because I feel like they're the best happy medium of the price point to the quality of food you're getting. So I want to be more consistent about using them throughout this month when I'm grocery shopping. And then afterwards, I went to Trader Joe's for a few more items. So I went with the mindset of 2 specific recipes I want to make this week. I want to do a sweet potato taco recipe and what I consider just like my Chipotle bowl. So I did that, and then I knew I wanted some like fresh produce things, some healthier snack options, things like that. So I'm gonna go with like the fresh produce meal stuff first, and then I'll show you all the snacks I got. I was so happy to find these at Sprouts because they are the mini salad kits, which is perfect for someone that lives alone or you just are having like a single serving, because I've struggled with the larger bags where I just have to waste half of it because it goes bad like sitting in my fridge for a day once I've opened it. So I got the Caesar one, Asian Crunch, and Sweet Kale. And then I just got some shredded chicken to go with it. I thought that'd be a great protein. I love that's already cooked, already shredded. I can have it on there cold or warm it up. So I thought that was going to be a great lunch option for me, but also dinner if I really want it. For my Chipotle bowl, I got some of the sirloin. I love mozzarella cheese on it. I have some pico. I have some sour cream already. I have an avocado for it and a bell pepper. I think that's it, because I also have rice already. So I got some cilantro to make like a cilantro lime rice. For the sweet potato recipe, I of course got sweet potatoes. I did need some more tortillas. It called for Mexican shredded cheese, also avocado, also the lime and cilantro. All of that went with it. And then it did call for some spices. I was already almost out of salt and pepper, so I had to get more salt and pepper. And then it wanted cumin and paprika. I knew I didn't have these, and then it called for a couple more items, not items. What do you call it? Seasonings that I already had. I also had to get some more avocado oil because I knew I was running low. So those are items that are definitely not on like a weekly grocery shop list. Those last months, honestly. So feel like good that my overall price point definitely included items I'm not getting every week. Some more like fresh produce snacky items. I got some more bananas. I am nothing without some more strawberries in my fridge. It is peach season and I'm obsessed with these right now, so I had to get some more. And then I got some fried cucumber dip with some carrots. I love this. It's such a refreshing afternoon snack. I don't think I included this, but some black beans also for the sweet potato recipe. And then I got a couple lemons because I love lemon water and I'm just lazy and won't do it consistently. So hoping that changes. The last item I got that wasn't quite a part of like a meal plan, but also not a snack, is the lemon and citrus shrimp. Already cooked. This is cooled, but it was on sale and I wanted it. So I figured I could maybe have it tonight, or I can just put it in the freezer and use later. So now let's talk about all the more like snacky drink things. I am obsessed with the Trader Joe's tangerine juice. If you take like one thing from this video, Trader Joe's tangerine juice, it's so much better than orange juice. But this detox is not to deprive myself of happiness, so I went ahead and got myself some chocolate milk. Kind of going with that, I realized I had no ice cream in my fridge, which is a bit rude, so I got some chocolate ice cream. I am on such a popcorn kick right now. I don't know what it is, but I saw that Sprouts had a organic butter popcorn. Don't love the price point of this because I think it's a little over $1 per bag. Absurd, but at the same time, I'm wanting to fuel my body with better things this month, so we got this to try. I'm obsessed with these. They're so good. This is the Sprouts brand, but they are the coconut rolls. Got 2 bags. I love having fun drinks. I'm not just a water drinker. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I can't do it. I need options. So they had these half-day teas on sale. I think it was like 2 for $1. So I got 6 of them. I got the lemon tea, the peach tea, and the raspberry tea. So these are heavy with like fiber, and they're just generally a healthier option. So I thought they'd be good to have in the fridge. And then lastly, I got the organic roasted teriyaki seaweed snack from Trader Joe's. I recently learned how much I love this one specifically. I've had the like sea salt ones before and I really like them, but I accidentally got this one. So when I tasted them, I was like, wait, these are so good. So I literally went and got 2 bags of them because I could have like 2 in one sitting and then all of a sudden they're gone in like a few days. So I went ahead and just got an ample amount so I can have as much as I want. So that is everything that I got. I believe I spent $98 at Sprouts and $43 at Trader Joe's. I would say on average I spend about $75 to $100 when I do a weekly grocery shop. That's including the fact that I am someone that will get like SpaghettiOs and pizza rolls or very unnutritious items, but also I'm not normally getting like the seasonings, the oils, like those are things, even some of these snacks, they're not just weekly items, so sometimes that fluctuates. So I definitely spent more than what I normally do, but I also got some things I don't normally buy every week. So I feel good, and I feel like the items I got, I'm hoping are pretty on par with what I would be wanting to buy moving forward in a weekly grocery shop. I feel like I have a lot of good options for lunches. I already have some other options for like breakfast, and then we obviously have some dinner things. So I'm curious to see if I'm consistently eating, when I would run out of more of the meal stuff throughout a week, or if this is like sustainable because of leftovers and such. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything away now. Okay, you guys, I've officially jumped on the bandwagon because look what came in the mail yesterday. A brick. I want to see how I like this system. I've seen some dupes of the world that aren't nearly $70. I kind of want to test it out and see if I like it because $70 is actually insane. So I just put it up on my fridge and it looks so cute. It just blends in so nicely. I was setting it up, so I just did my first test. So we have been bricked for 1 minute so far. It says no socials, but tap and brick. Okay. I don't want like the name to be, what's like a cute name, or like maybe it's just like fun emojis. Like I'm gonna name it offline, and then does it allow you to put fun emojis, because that's kind of the whole point. I put offline and then I put a bunch of fun emojis that I love, so we are going to do it. Outside of introing this entire Dopamine Detox Diaries with you guys today, there were 3 big things on my agenda. 1 was grocery shopping, 2 was setting up the brick, and 3, setting up my vinyl player, because I have had it for years and I am so hit or miss with using it because I don't have a designated space for it. That is something I would like to accomplish this month by like thrifting a cute little table to put in the corner. I feel like I finally figured out how I can do it, so I have something to work with. But for now, I'm gonna use my makeshift office desk dining table. It's primarily where I work, but there's enough surface that I can just prop it up here, so let me show you the setup. So this is the setup for now. I really like it for the time being. It honestly isn't as cramped as I expected it to look and feel, but there's enough space for the player, the lamp that I love having on all the time, and my laptop, but still plenty of space to like have cups, snacks, whatever I need. So I like it. I feel like it just looks so cute. So of course that meant I needed to go through my vinyls and see which albums I wanted on repeat this week. I really want to be listening to them while like cooking dinner, maybe in the mornings, but I think I really want to focus on quiet time in the morning, at least for this week. But these are the albums. We have This Is What It Feels Like by Gracie Abrams. We have the iconic Hosier album. Sue Me, I love this album so much. It's hit after hit after hit, 0 skips. You seem pretty sad for a girl so in love. And finally, I Am Nothing Without My 1989 album. I think this has to be my favorite album overall, but Torture Poet and Folklore, Evermore, like, no, like, they have a special place in my heart because I am a girl that feels happy listening to sad music, but like this album is just so summer, and I feel like my like personality year round, but I love a good sad album. I wanted to pop back in here and give a glimpse into what weeks 2, 3, and 4 will look like. So for week 1, this was my blueprint for everything else. This was my baseline that then I want to grow from. So for social media, I don't want to just have no social media. Obviously with content creation, or YouTube, Instagram, I love engagement, I love creating, I love seeing what other people are doing, I love getting inspiration. So this isn't realistic to just be like, never be on social media again. So I'm gradually going from nothing to, hey, you can be on it to post what you're doing. Obviously, I'm still posting YouTube videos. I'm still filming, so I want to be able to share that. And then it's, hey, you have this time limit on when you can engage with comments, with other people's posts, sharing things, DMs, things like that. And then it's just this overall, we're going to increase that limit, but this is the limit that you have had in the past. So this is what you should actually stick to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this progression. And then by the end, is this something that at the end of week 4, I'm like, hey, that's a good limit on social media? You're good. Do I really need to adjust it? Or am I just being greedy with my time? For the whole no noise during the daytime situation, I know that that's not realistic for me forever. But I do want to take a couple weeks of completely no noise during the day. I'm just working, I'm just existing, whatever it may be, just one task at a time. But then as we get into the later weeks, introducing more like maybe afternoon noise, and maybe that's just the ambiance, maybe that is a vlog, whatever it may be, but for the morning, nothing, and then kind of like, let's introduce a little bit maybe into the afternoons. Audiobooks are going to be a huge challenge for me because I use them all the time while working, but that's going to be a huge thing that I want to fix and better help with my overall focus, because I primarily listen to audiobooks when working because I need noise, or because I have this sense of urgency to read as many books as possible, and if I'm only allowed to read after I'm done working or the weekends, like I'm only gonna read 2 books in a month or something crazy. So like I really want to work on my relationship with noise overall, in that sense of multitasking and urgency, and if I'm not multitasking, then I'm not being productive enough. So I want to work with audiobooks specifically to gradually do audiobooks where I'm never listening to an audiobook while doing something else. It's different if it's just an audiobook that I have access to and I'm gonna choose to like do a word search or color or journal or something like that, instead of just like sitting and staring at a wall listening to an audiobook. But specifically if I'm doing another task like working, like walking Milo, something like that, like I just want to focus on one task at a time. The last one I'll kind of touch on is just this overall premise of junk food and sweet treats. I am nothing without a sweet treat. I want it. I love chocolate. I love unhealthy things. Okay, I do. But I do want to fuel my body with better things to give it energy, focus, nutrition. So I'm gonna like start with like nothing, but then each week kind of just like add more and more, but still have this healthy boundary at the end, because I don't want to completely like limit myself. I just want a healthy way of fueling my body. And so I'm hoping kind of by the end I figure out a good system in place to do that. It has been quite a few hours since we last talked. I have now shut the windows, closed the blinds, all the things, because it is so hot. But I've been locked away with editing and work stuff, so I came up for air and realized my stomach was so empty and it was grumbling. So for lunch, late lunch, it's like probably, what time is it? 2:22. Wow, okay. But I made the Caesar salad with the rotisserie chicken on it, and I found that I still had some like fresh Parmesan, so I grated that on top. And then for a drink, I am doing this. I love this brand. I've talked about them before. It is the So Good, So You. I really love their Unwind one, but this one is their Focus, and it's watermelon mint flavored. It's really good, and I would love to do some reading after this, but I don't want to hit the afternoon slump. So here we are, having this, and we're gonna see if it helps. I'm feeling just really like excited, honestly. I mean, this is week 1, day 1. I've just been busy all day, so I really haven't had downtime. It's just been setting everything up, introing different videos, updating said videos. Like, it's just been a pretty busy morning, so that probably helps. But this afternoon, it'll just be me chilling on the couch reading. So I'm looking forward to that, and just to like officially start my Sarah J Maas reread. That's starting today, starting the same time as this video. Pray for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat and then get to reading. Already coming back to you, haven't even taken a bite yet. It just hit me that this is gonna be my first true like experience of the detox, because I don't eat in silence. It's very, very, very rare. 1, there's probably already something playing, but 2, I usually put something on my phone, like a YouTube video. Well, it's probably just a YouTube video. And whether or not it's something I know I can like watch completely while eating, or if it's just starting, like God forbid I just spent 15 minutes eating in silence. Like, no. So I just went to take a bite and I was like, it's really quiet in here. This is weird. It is almost 6 p.m. and I am officially ready to make some dinner because I am quite hungry. Cue my stomach growling. But we get to listen to some music, so I'm really excited, and I don't know like what the vibe is. I'm kind of thinking Hoser, because do you say Hosier or do you say Hosier? There probably is a correct answer, but I hear both constantly. I think I just say Hosier more like naturally than Hosier, but I feel like Hosier is like probably more of like the correct pronunciation. Nonetheless, I think that is definitely the album we should listen to. Oh, shut up. Are you kidding? Wow, wow, wow. Hello. I should know. Hello, hi. It is the next day. It is already 3:30 p.m. I'm about to wrap up all my work stuff because I had a pretty early start to the workday, so I'm going to tidy up some last minute things in the next 30-ish minutes, and then we're going to start our like after work fun activities that I've been very much looking forward to all day. So I want to catch you guys up on some thoughts I had last night and then this morning, and then honestly just kind of wrapping up work stuff now and how my workday has been. I feel like I just have so many thoughts. So let me finish up all these little tasks and then we'll chat. I finished up work and realized I was absolutely starving because we didn't get into today yet, but let's just say I did not have lunch and I just made my Chipotle bowl. It looks so good, and so I'm about to demolish it. Okay, I'm officially ready to chat now that I've eaten and I feel immensely better. Oh, I'm sorry, am I interrupting your sleep? Yeah, we did have to move from that side of the couch to this side. No, yeah, obviously. Anyways, I want to start with last night because that was my first evening, like winding down and not having even ambiance on because I don't consistently watch YouTube to like wind down for bed, but I at least always have an ambiance playing. And so it was just so weird to come back in from like my evening stuff with Milo and then be like, oh, so I'm to sit here in silence because I didn't want to like read anymore. I was reading for a couple other videos earlier in the day and I was like, okay, I'm like not mentally there enough to be reading. So let me just wind down with my word search, which I loved. However, it was super weird just like out here sitting in silence. So I was like, okay, let's actually go to my room, and I put on my like little warmer lamp thing, a candle warmer lamp, and I had the stress relief Bath and Body Works candle going. It was very peaceful. But something I realized is like I probably had an hour and a half worth of like time to just decompress, get tired, and then hopefully go to bed. And I started out so strong. And then I hit this point where like I'm literally just like sitting there with my thoughts. And then I just like spiraled. Not like super bad negative, more like embarrassing moments that pop up or like just anything that involved kind of like strong emotions that I didn't want to be thinking about at like 8:45 p.m. And so it was so frustrating because I had this probably like it probably wasn't that long, it's maybe 15 minutes, but it was so like all consuming because I had nothing else for my brain to fully latch onto because I was already like doing my word search. So I was already like reading things like so there was no other like noise for my head to like, oh, focus on that and like get out of your head a little bit. And so that was so frustrating. And then it did pass. I did like realize like, oh, hey, you're actually not thinking about those thoughts and you're not spiraling anymore. So like, yay. And then like that didn't cause me to then rethink of everything. But it was definitely like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate that I have nothing else for my brain to like latch onto. So I had to really just like sit with those like embarrassing moments, thoughts, or just like situations that like witness that just makes me like uncomfortable in a way. So I didn't love that. But I also am proud of myself because clearly I got through it. Like I had that brief time and then like I just kept doing my word searches and then like we got through it and we went to bed. I will say Milo and I both sleep with like rain sounds on, and the times that we've had like planned power outages overnight, it's only been a couple times, but when they've happened, Milo is on edge if it is just like pure silence. So that is kind of like my exception, if you will. Again, I'm not trying to torture myself. So we did, like, once I was like, I'm actually going to sleep, I put on the rain sounds. And then I did. I slept fine. I slept great. I got up at 6:30 this morning, did my normal, like, morning stuff. And then one thing that I noticed was, like, different this morning was just, like, my, I don't know if, like, motivation to just, like, do things if I thought of them and, like, realize I had the time to do them. So I thought about going into the office today I was like, I think I'm just gonna like get up, go, and I'll be there at like 7:30. God dang, what is in my eye? Okay, we got it. But instead, I was like, I really want to eat breakfast here, so like I'm fueled and good, and I don't like spend money or just eat crap that is probably at my office. So I went ahead and I made boiled eggs this morning. I had been wanting to do it, meaning to do it, kept procrastinating it. Instead, I just locked in this morning. I did it, and then I had 2 eggs with a peach and something else that I'm forgetting. So it just was such a nutritious thing that I noticed. I just did it. Like there was no real like second guessing of like, oh, do I really want to do this? No, I don't. Like it'll be good. No, like there was no thought process. It was just like, let's just do it. And so I did that, and then I also like cleaned up immediately. That was a big thing I noticed last night after I made dinner, was just like my willingness to just clean up and put all the dishes away that need to be put away and like load up the dishwasher. Like it was just weird because I think if I actually am cooking, it's pretty common for me to kind of pick up as I go and like want to at least like rinse stuff off and put it just like in the sink, or put, you know, the trash that needs to go in the trash. Like I tidy up the surfaces pretty consistently, but when it comes to actually loading the dishwasher, especially if it needs unloaded first, like I just don't want to do it. But last night and tonight, it was kind of like, what else are you gonna do? Like, seriously? So we're just gonna like sit there? Like there was no ability to just procrastinate and do something else, like doom scroll, watch a YouTube video. Like there's so many times that I use my phone or my TV, like something to like have YouTube or social media to just like waste time doing something because I don't want to do the main task, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's just something I've noticed just in the last 24 plus hours, is just I have no excuse but to just do the task, so I just do it. There's a very little resistance or like mental annoyance. So I really like that. I'm curious if that's going to be persistent in this, or if I'm going to have that mental fatigue at some point later on and be like, no, I still don't want to do the dishes, so I'll just sit here and stare at a wall instead. But I really liked how that has like adapted over the last 24 hours. So I did end up going into the office. That is kind of the last thing that I wanted to bring up, because I am such a homebody. I love my home because I only work 3 days of the work week and half my days are spent on Zoom calls. I think it's very hard for me to want to go to the office because like I'm basically on a Zoom call from 12 to 4 p.m. every like work day of the week, and that makes it challenging for me to like go into the office, and then what if I am there until noon? Now I'm on this Zoom call and I have to balance like getting home and like keeping it on my phone or something. Like with Milo, I really don't love to leave him for more than 6 hours is my max, but 5 hours is where I'm like most comfortable. Like I know he will survive longer. I know many dogs stay at home 8 hours a day as their owner goes to work. Like I know that. That's not his norm, nor is it mine. And so I just have a hard time consistently going into the office for the last like few months. I got so comfortable just working from home, but I do want to be in the office more. Like I do like the in-person interactions I have, being able to chat with coworkers face to face, have those meetings in person. Like it is beneficial at times. So I do want to go into the office more, and I think by me kind of making this decision to not multitask during my workday, like with listening to audiobooks, or maybe in some way that's including filming, because if I'm trying to do a reading vlog and then I want to like film myself like reading, listening to my book throughout the day, like there's a level of multitasking that I'm doing during that, and because I'm kind of eliminating that here, it's kind of giving me a reason to be in the office more. Like I woke up this morning like I really want to go to the office today. And because I'm not going to be able to listen to a book or really like be reading physically because I'm going to be working, like why not? And so I went from like 10 to 2:30ish, something like that. And it was really nice. I had like a good time. So it was nice because I do have the flexibility to just kind of go in for as long as I want as well. So it's not just like, oh, you're choosing to work in office today, so like you need to be there the whole day. So I recognize that I have such an amazing job for my lifestyle. I think those are all the things I wanted to touch on because I've just already noticed that shift of just the way I'm thinking, the way I'm acting, and all the things. So, pros and cons, but a lot more pros, and I'm having a good time so far. But obviously it's just day 2. So, I know that there's going to be some hard days over the month, but I'm just hoping that in the end the pros still outweigh any of the cons. And again, this week will be the hardest in the grand scheme of just like going from 100 to 0%, and then over the few weeks after this is when we kind of like gradually increase those things. And I'm already thinking about how not even like want to change, because like it's more just I want to make sure I'm still doing things that I love, but I just want to slowly increase how I'm doing them. So I need to look at kind of how I've planned even next week into what the end goal is of the end of the 4 weeks and kind of see how I can best integrate everything back slowly but surely and healthfully. So with that, I'm going to hang out here. I need to like think and like what am I even doing right now? I do have a couple books I'm reading for other videos, and it's way too hot to take Milo out now. It is only 5:15, so we have a couple hours before I probably want to take him out for like our evening walk. Yeah, I'll probably chill out here. I think I'm gonna call my mom here in a minute and then hopefully read because I have quite a lot of reading I need to do. Hello, hi, good morning, happy Wednesday. We did not talk at all yesterday, but I have a lot of thoughts and things that I want to share with you because it was such a good yet challenging day, and I just felt like it's good to share those moments over here. So probably going to be a little rambly, but let me just kind of give you a recap of yesterday. But first, I do have to share my breakfast because it's so good. I have 2 hard-boiled eggs in this bowl of fruit. I have 1 golden kiwi, handful of strawberries, and 1 of the peaches. And then I also have a glass of lemon water. This is pretty much what I had yesterday, but I also had a small glass of tangerine juice because it's so good. So I think I'm gonna get another glass whenever I'm done updating you guys. Yesterday at breakfast was actually my first kind of challenge of the day because I'm someone that I love to just get up and go. I am my most productive and kind of mentally clear in the mornings. So I often think that if I don't just like get up and go, either run errands or if I'm going to the office that day, and it's not like I need to be there at 8 in the morning, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna go, then it's so hard for me to just like sit in the morning. Even though if I'm working from home, like I often am on my laptop at 7:30 a.m. checking stuff or earlier, and so that's something I could easily do on a day I'm going to the office, but for some reason I just get in my head about it. So yesterday I had that issue where I was like, it's 8 a.m. I didn't really want to be in the office until about 9:30. I had my meeting at 10:30, but I wanted to be a little bit earlier to chat with a couple coworkers and just kind of get myself situated. 8 a.m. rolls around and I'm like, let's just go. And I'm like, well, you haven't even had breakfast. You have all this food. Yes, there's options like for free at the office, and there's like not just like, oh, here's some Pop-Tarts. It's like there are some like protein yogurts and good healthy options. However, I spent my money on this food. So I took a moment and I was like, you have time. Let's just have a good breakfast. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm sitting here like this. I was still checking stuff on my laptop, chatting with coworkers, kind of getting a handle on how things have been so far in the morning. So like it was still good and I felt great heading into the office because I just felt so like fueled and mentally like good and sharp, ready to go. So that was just kind of like a good feeling. Like you have time, eat your food, do good things, you know? So I only wanted to be in the office for a few hours. I had the meeting, had great chats, all the things. And then I also get a daily like credit on a delivery app for that office. Honestly, I just have an amazing job, okay? Like I recognize that. So normally like everyone at the office posts a poll of where we want to order from, and then like you just like apply that credit. If you spend more, obviously you just pay for it, whatever. So you can order from wherever to be delivered to the office, or you can do pickups within a mile of the office. So knowing that I was gonna head home and I was like, I don't really want to be like making a lunch, I used my credit to do a pickup of a Subway sandwich. So I had like a very solid lunch, and I was truly, I think, at like 12:30 or something. So I was just munching on that, and then my workday kind of cut a little short because I went and saw Spider-Man with my friend, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, obviously no spoilers here, but loved it. I ended up getting a root beer there, so I knew I didn't want to spend money on actual food. I knew I didn't really need to, and so I was proud of myself because I came home and I made a shrimp bowl, like the Chipotle bowl. So it was kind of a challenge when I came home. Like, I was feeling so tired, but at the same time, like a high from the movie. But I was like, okay, the shrimp is already cooked. You just have to kind of heat it up, warm it up a little bit. And then all of the other stuff I had from my Chipotle bowl, the like steak one, was the same thing. Whereas like in containers that I just maybe needed to heat up a little bit. So it was such a quick dinner, and it was actually great. And I used up like all the leftover that I had from the bowl, like all the rice, pico, that side of thing, and then used up all the shrimp as well. So I just felt like, wow, girl, you did it. Like, you were definitely feeling tired, but you went ahead and made some dinner, and it was so great. Post dinner, exhausted. Like, I think the exhaustion just hit me. Like, I just felt so fatigued and tired. But I was like, okay, well, we can't just like go and take a nap right now. Like, it's maybe 6 p.m. You know, like, can't do that. But I went ahead and I just sat outside with Milo. It was kind of nice enough. It wasn't a super hot day yesterday, so I was scared that post dinner I was like, well, I don't want to read. I don't want to do a word search right now. Obviously can't like watch YouTube, do any of that. Like, that is where I was already going to be struggling, because I didn't want to be like watching YouTube to just like fill up my head. My intention was like, man, I'm just so tired. Like, I would really like to watch like a comfort creator that I just love and see what they made, kind of thing. And so I didn't do it. I went outside, I just sat there, and I was just like, eyes shut, and I was just like listening to the outside noise, and I was cuddling with Milo. Oh my god, there's a spider. Let me go kill it. Hold on, bud. Man, that thing was like the size of a quarter. That was crazy. But I knew Milo would want to investigate, and I'm very uneducated about spiders, so he was like sitting right here, and I was like, he hasn't seen it yet. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. That was just like another good moment where I did make the decision, girl, you can go a week without this stuff. It's not that deep, it's not that serious. Like, you don't need anything right now. Like, you can actually just embrace boredom. That's kind of a key part of this week as well, is like, you don't have to be filling it with things. Like, you can actually just like, so to speak, sit in silence. And it was so nice. And so I was scared kind of post dinner, just like, what's the rest of my evening gonna be if I'm this tired and don't want to read, don't want to do anything. So after being outside for a little bit with him on the patio area, we did our normal evening walk. I was already tired coming back, but at this time it was like approaching 8 p.m. So I just started getting ready for bed, and then I went in my room. I was already a bit sleepy, but I did maybe 4 or 5 word searches, and then I ended up just like knocking out. And so I had like our like rain sound on for maybe 30 minutes of me doing the word search to like start to get him to wind down as well, and then like gone, knocked. And I woke up this morning definitely a little tired to start, but then it helps, honestly, the fact that I have Milo, and I'm immediately getting up to go outside and walk him to some level to see if he needs to go to the restroom or whatever. Like, it immediately like wakes me up. So once I'm back inside, I'm like, I'm not tired anymore. Like, I am awake and ready to start my day. But last night was definitely like bordering the constant thought of like, just put on a YouTube video. Like, it actually doesn't matter. Like, just do it. And I didn't. And I was so proud of myself. And I was just proud of myself for also cooking and like having like a good meal, not just like still having probably options in there of like some canned ravioli or something like that. Like, would be fine. At least I fueled my body in some way. But like, I knew I had all these great food options, and I don't want anything to go to waste. So it was a successful day in the end, but I definitely had a lot more challenging moments, specifically like in the afternoon, because of going into the office and coming back and not having that long before I need to leave and go to the movies. Like, I didn't have that much time just here, like sitting and being like, wow, wish I could listen to my audiobook right now while I'm working, or wish I had the ambiance. Like, my brain was full. Like, it was focused on other things, and I had so many other things for work that I was doing. So I didn't really like feel this absence of other things. So it was like a really good productive day, and I honestly just felt sharp for like up until probably 3 p.m. Like, and then I was starting to like wind down from the high of all things that were go, go, go during the day. So it just felt nice because I really did need to be kind of mentally sharp, and I was, because I had a great breakfast, because I had a great lunch. Like, I continue that. Like, lunch is such a hard one for me, especially if I go into the office. So I was just proud of myself that like I fueled myself with something actually worth substance and I ended up having kind of an extra push for the afternoon. But yeah, I feel good and I feel proud of myself after last night. Like, I just feel really proud of myself. So I'm going to officially eat my food now, get my glass of tangerine juice, get to work, and I will update you guys later on. But what a day. What a day. I love this lighting. It's just so cozy. I have the candle warmer lamp on, and obviously the light strips behind my TV on blue, and it's just like such a fun contrast. I would say it's probably about like 8:15-ish, give or take, which is pretty on par for me. I'm definitely in bed by 8:30 at the latest, but anywhere from 8 to 8:30. I have the best dog in the world where I'll take him out for a final time around now. We're usually getting back in no later than 8:15, and he sleeps through the night. Maybe wakes me up. I'm a pretty early riser in general. Like, we wake up between 6:30 and 7:30. Like, how does he hold it? I have so many questions, but best dog in the world, because I'd love to go to bed early, but then also get up at a decent time. I love him. Today was a really productive work day, like insanely productive. I had quite the list of things that I needed to do, and I was just so locked in with it. And even the times that like I was either doing something for so long that I was like kind of sick of it mentally, or I kind of completed a task and then I wanted to procrastinate the next task, I'd pick up my phone. But all the apps that would like distract me or help me procrastinate are still bricked. So it's like pick it up for maybe 30 seconds and be like, well, what are you gonna do now? And so I'd immediately like lock it and just be like, okay, well, I guess I'll get back to work. But it worked because then I was immediately back into the task. It wasn't just like slowly going about the day and doing a task that would take like 30 minutes across like 3 hours. Like, no, like I was so locked in and it was just so good. Like, it just felt really good. I do have tomorrow and Friday off of work. Theoretically, there might be something that pulls me to work tomorrow, hoping for the best, and that's not the case, but I'll know more in the morning. So assuming that, very curious about tomorrow, because that'll be my first day with no like real purpose in the day. I have no plans. I believe I have book club that I'm going to. Tentatively, it's in my head that I'm going, but that isn't until like 5 p.m. ish. So I have the entire day to do what I want, but that's a little scary because work gave me kind of like a purpose and a thing to be doing throughout the main portion of the day, and I'm not going to have that tomorrow. So I'm curious how I'm going to feel about it. I am filming a weekly reading vlog theoretically, but I have been so busy the last couple days, like mentally, because I'm not multitasking with reading, and so I either was too dead after the day to read, or even today, like I didn't film for it. I did a little bit of reading after work, but I was just kind of reading by myself, and I didn't want to be like filming. So I'm hoping I can also film better for that starting again tomorrow. So I'm hoping like that will kind of give me a purpose. Like, I need to go to the library. I need to go do some other stuff. I want to read. Like, I'm hoping it'll be a successful day and not like a difficult day, but I am a little nervous. That's so many hours in that chunk, you know? So I'm gonna go back to my word search. This is what I've been doing every single evening. I sometimes have the rain ambiance on now like I do, or I like turn it on kind of when I'm hitting more of the like I'm definitely going to be going to bed in the next 20-ish minutes, and then like I kind of put it on to set me and Milo at ease and getting ready to sleep. But probably do about 4 to like 8 of these things a night because they're not that big and they don't really take me all that much time. But I really like them. And I love it because this one says useless information. So it says, who says dinosaurs are extinct? And I like it because lately I've been taking the time to actually read the little blurb that's like about this topic. So, kind of obsessed. So that's kind of my day and my evening. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello, hi, happy Friday. It is currently 5 p.m. and I'm making dinner. I know we didn't talk yesterday, but I thought of you guys because I am almost done making dinner and I realized I never put on music. I went to go pick out a record and then I looked down and I see that I still had my vacuum like out right next to the trash can because I needed to like empty it. And I just was kind of procrastinating. I was like, oh, I'll get to it later. And so I was like, no, you can pick out a record and we can start making dinner once you've like picked up and tidied up a little bit. And so I did that and then I just started making dinner. And then I only realized in this moment, it's like I've been doing it in silence. So we're on day like 6 now, I think. And it's not like I felt like I needed to have sound to make dinner. Like I've just been sitting here in silence. Fine. Completely fine doing my task, not feeling any sense of like boredom. I'm just like doing my thing. Like it's just such a cool feeling. Like I'm loving that I'm 6 days in and I'm actually embracing the fact that I don't need sound all the time, or kind of like going with the fact that I am allowing myself, you know, music right now, and I'm not like looking forward to that so much that like I have to do, you know, like where it's like all I can focus on type of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like, no, like I was fine. And now I'm gonna go ahead and finish prepping everything and eat my meal, but I just felt like that is such a reward. Yesterday was a lot easier than I anticipated. It was a full day doing random things, filming for other videos, reading. It was great. Today, Milo and I went to the beach. It was amazing. He's just such a goofball. And then I came back. I went to the pool. I was kind of just like existing for a second, and then my mom ended up calling me. We were on the phone for quite a while, and I was only there probably like a total of 2 hours. It was so hot. So when I got off the phone with my mom, I was like, I need to go back home and shower and feel clean again. And so that's what I did. And then I spent time editing, kind of catching up with editing on all 3 videos I'm filming. Did that. Went to go read and realized like it was already approaching dinner time. So I like set out my steak so that would get to closer to room temperature. Took Milo out, came back, and now I'm like, well, now it's at room temperature, might as well make dinner. So I'm like, I'm hungry. I was going to eat some popcorn as like a pre-dinner snack, and I was like, no, let's not do that. Went to get a healthy snack, then realized Milo hadn't been outside in a while, so I was like, let me take you out, then I can come back and start reading, eat my healthy snack of the feta cucumber dip with carrots. But once I came back, I realized like I could just make dinner now. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna have the carrots and dip as like a side with it, I guess, but I just feel so good. It feels so good. Hello, hi, happy Saturday, which is our final day for week 1, and I feel so good. Like, dare I say great, because today was my first like full concentrated weekend work day, where like the weekends that I work I am typically, please, hopefully no coworkers watching this, like, I'm like 50% focused because one, I'm locked in for that 50%. However, I am balancing the flexibility of like just checking things, but if I have plans with friends, I'm doing that. If I want to enjoy being outside, I'm doing that. Like, I'm getting in my hours, but I'm kind of only doing the bare minimum and some typically, but I also always feel just like so tired and unmotivated to kind of give it my all on a weekend day. So as much as I'm like checking all the boxes, I never feel like mentally great throughout a weekend work day. However, I also really love it because I like don't have any other meetings or coworkers really working. So it's like you don't usually have the outside distractions of those kind of like interrupting your tasks. So that's really nice. Today, dare I say I've had the most productive day I've ever had at this company. Like the amount of tasks I was getting done that were different purposes and just kind of like well-rounded in everything that involves my job and tasks. Like if I just kind of describe it to you, it's gonna be a lot of gibberish. So just know it was like different kind of sub areas that usually would require me to like only focus on one that day, or maybe like one primarily in the morning and one in the afternoon. Like it's rare that I can just kind of bounce around or just be so productive that like, oh, I knocked that out so quickly, like I can actually do these other things now. Like I was just so locked in today. I started working around 7:30. It was 1 p.m. I had pretty much done everything on my list, and I was like, I need a nap. So I napped hard for like an hour and a half. Well, I was like in and out of sleep, but like I was resting dead to the world. And then I got to working again around like 2:30, 2:45, and then I just kind of clocked out, if you will. It's a little after 5 p.m. now, and I feel so good. Honestly, I've had a great working time since the beginning of this, like Monday through Wednesday, having Thursday, Friday off, and then today, like locked in, locked in, and just feeling so mentally sharp and like motivated to do the tasks that I don't always love to do and I find any reason to not do. So I just feel so good and happy and proud of myself for that. I am out of all the main meals that I planned to make this week. I kind of had like odds and ends the last couple days where I had kind of bits and pieces from previous meals and I had like leftovers from that, and then I'd make some concoction of something to eat. Kind of out of that. So today's the day that's like, don't have ravioli. Don't have canned ravioli, please. Let's find something that's a little bit better. And not that this is much better, but I did find that I have a couscous roasted garlic mix. I love couscous. And I have some shrimp, like frozen shrimp, in my freezer that I could make as like a good protein with it. But I'm not sure what I would have as like a side. So I'm not sure. I did start making a grocery list for when I go grocery shopping tomorrow, starting week 2 of this diaries. But obviously that's tomorrow. So I at least thought about what I want to be making, which I feel like I'm looking forward to the next grocery trip. 1, groceries. But 2, because I think the cost will be a lot better when I was like looking at everything that I wanted to get and wanted to make and things that I already have. So I'm looking forward to seeing like, well, what could my more like week to week look like with the occasional whatever the heck happened for this week. So I'm going to continue kind of looking at my pantry, fridge, freezer, seeing what I could make. But I just had to come on and tell you guys how productive I felt today. Like, I did not miss like having something on because I was just so locked in. I really haven't struggled all that much, a lot less than I anticipated, like not having background noise while working in my day-to-day. So I'm looking forward to next week as we slowly start to implement these things. I'm gonna look at what I already wrote down as like a pre-plan. Now that I've had this week, what do I think would be like a healthy addition, but not like back to what I want my new norm to be, but more like let's ease into it. What little treat are you getting this week kind of thing. So I do have my notebook here. I'm gonna be doing that. I honestly have been very, I don't know if like, cause like busy, but like it's more like I've just been locked in, and without the multitasking, like I don't have a ton of energy at the end of a work day. Like between workday ending, cooking, doing evening stuff with Milo, kind of like decompressing just like my work brain. Like I haven't had a ton of time to be reading. I've read some for like the Sarah J. Maas reread video. I'm 100 pages into Throne of Glass at this stage. So, started that yesterday, read 100 pages. So I've already read Assassin's Blade, now 100 pages into Throne of Glass, vlogging for that. But for the weekly vlog that I had planned to be filming, I'm just going to continue it, and we'll see how long it takes me to wrap it up. Hopefully just within another like few days of getting enough footage that I feel comfortable posting. But I just wasn't filming extra this week. I think it is a little challenging when I do typically make my weekly reading vlog videos more lifestyle plus reading, and then I was like filming bits and pieces more of lifestyle for this, or I was like, if I want to talk to a camera about the lifestyle-y things, I wanted it to be for this video. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to balance that moving forward, because I have reading vlogs I want to film, I have stuff I want to be doing, I want to consistently be posting the 2 videos a week. I want to challenge myself for that and like stick with it, because I've been doing well with that the last month or so, finding like getting back into a good groove with it. But I need to figure out how I'm supposed to be filming. I know it's possible, I know I could do it. I think we're gonna figure out ways healthily to implement like audiobooks. Not probably this week. Like audiobooks, like when I could be like maybe like walking Milo and listening to an audiobook. I don't want to do that this week, but like that's not something I'm cutting out entirely for the rest of my life to have the healthiest of dopamine. So things like that I know will be easier, but it is more challenging to just like get through books on top of thinking about this content and all of it. So that's something I want to kind of think about tonight and be like realistic with myself with what I had planned. What do I maybe need to push myself to do a bit more? And like what is maybe like something I need to like wind back a little bit, reel back, whatever. Like, I don't know. Just gotta think about it. But overall, it has been an amazing Saturday. I'm gonna figure out dinner. I'm gonna eat, do stuff, and I will at least chat with you once more to kind of round out this week 1 of this challenge, the most extreme part of this challenge. It is now 8 p.m. I just got back inside from walking Milo. I do still need to get ready for bed, like wash my face, brush my teeth, all the things. But I wanted to come on and give my final thoughts for week 1, because this week was so unexpected. Considering it was the most restrictive week, I definitely anticipated a lot more harder and challenging moments. I didn't expect it to be like horrible, oh my god, I hate this, but I definitely thought that I was gonna feel the absence of background noise throughout my day to day. Granted, I was in the office sometimes of this week, but it was never like a full day. It was only just for like a handful of hours. And so considering I was at home a majority of the time, and I have just grown used to waking up and turning on a morning ambiance, and then more often than not switching to more like chatter, vlogging, YouTube videos throughout the day, I just completely expected me to feel that absence, be like, wow, I'm just like actually working in silence right now. I'm not able to focus. I'm not like, instead, I was just fueling my body. First of all, I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner 99% of the time. Don't quote me on that percentage, that's stupid. But like, I bought groceries that I ate, and I cooked myself meals every chance that I got. There's only one time I think this week that I like ate out, and it was actually free in the end because of work stuff. So like, I still ate like a healthy meal. I had like a poke bowl. So I just was so proud of myself of spending money on the groceries, fueling my body with greatness this week, cooking. I was like so excited to cook every evening and make a meal and listening to the music. Like I loved setting up my vinyl player and actually listening to some albums. So I just feel like it was a really well balanced kind of just week overall. On the days that I didn't have work, I expected those to be way harder than they were. I definitely miss some sense of multitasking when it comes to like the audiobook side of things. I'm curious how the best, like, I haven't really thought since our last talking update, I haven't really thought about like the weeks moving forward quite yet. But as someone that does work full time, if I do want to be putting out videos consistently, but also just reading a couple books in those videos, like I need to figure out some better balance to that, because I don't want to go back to multitasking 100% like at the end of this detox, but I need to figure out a better balance for that so that I can maintain creating content that I enjoy and reading books and figuring out a good balance for that. But I had such a good week. I literally texted my mom today, like, I have never had such a productive work day in my life. Like, I was just so impressed by that, and to think that it is the end of the week and I've had a long week of a lot of things. Like, I have been relatively just like consistently busy with stuff. Even my downtime, like, I was just kind of resting. Instead of trying to fill it with something, I was like, if you're tired right now because you just worked a lot or you're just outside in the heat for several hours, like, just rest. You can just actually lay here. And that's exactly what I did. And I felt just so rejuvenated in the end. So I'm just very curious to see my love of this week as I slowly integrate stuff. Am I gonna still choose to kind of latch on to every opportunity I'm gonna give myself over the coming weeks to, you know, like watch a YouTube video, listen to my audiobooks outside of just like when I'm sitting and physically reading? Like, I'm curious if I'm going to, like we saw, what was it, last night, that I was like, I actually didn't even put music on. Like, I kind of just like forgot about it, but like was fine, didn't feel its absence while I was making dinner. So I'm just curious if I'm gonna kind of like choose not to if I don't feel the need to, kind of thing. Because my goal and love would be to just live life intentionally and stop feeling the need to multitask to feel productive and like efficient in a way. Like, I understand that multitasking is useful in certain cases, absolutely. But like, I don't need to put on a YouTube video if I just want to sit and read, just to think that I need a background noise. And I don't need to listen to an audiobook while working just to make sure I'm reading for a video. So I just want to make sure I don't fall back into that by the end of this challenge as I slowly implement these things. But I'm hoping the way I'm going to do it is just going to set me up for success. And I was just very impressed with how this week went. I feel like if you've thought about something like this, one, you're going to follow along with me. You're going to see how this all goes. And then maybe by the end, you can kind of come up with your own plan. I've seen like this premise of detoxing being for a day, a few days, like a weekend, a week, whatever. Like, the reason I chose a month was to figure out a new habit in the end, a new kind of lifestyle association with a healthier version of dopamine kind of thing. Otherwise, I can go a week without social media and be fine. I can go a week without whatever and be fine. I knew 1 week was kind of like no problem, but that's not the point of it. I didn't want to just like stop for like 100% to 0% and then just go back to 100%. So I hope you guys like this. I know it was a lot more vlog, like quite literally just yap, 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 yap. So maybe you treated this as a podcast. And I intentionally did not try to make this some kind of like production. I really just want to truly talk about what this is like. Yes, get some like B-roll clips for you, but I think it's really important to talk out how I'm thinking and feeling and like working through this and like how it's gonna evolve over the coming weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this was an intriguing week 1 and maybe motivating you to take a little like weekend detox or something. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in week